So, welcome to this month's episode of Let's Talk Tech. And because we have such a big project going on in the woods regarding the internet, I wanted to have Paul Ortiz again with me this month so that we could just chat about what's happening and think places that you can get resources. So, thanks, Paul, for joining me again.
Yeah, thanks for having me. I'm looking forward to this conversation.
Yeah, and Happy New Year.
Thank you.
Okay, so I understand that as of the end of 2025, you've got Ting now in 11 over 1100
Yes,
manners.
yeah, that's true. So we were able to meet our goal for Q4 of 2025. We were wanting to build a matrix so that we can see a timeline. It's something that the broadband committee and the GRF board was wanting to get more visibility to. So we are happy to meet our number for last year for the last quarter, and then we're obviously pacing ourselves for the next quarter. And we had well over 1,100 internet subscribers actually with Ting, and we've had a couple of planned outages. We had the one outage that happened, we think, somewhere in Los Angeles, but we've had a couple planned outages, which is why we've always encouraged people to keep their West Coast internet.
Right.
This is a very large network. It's getting built very quickly, and we want to make sure that people have that connectivity. So don't ever cancel your West Coast internet
Right.
until we give you the all clear. And so far, speeds are anywhere. I've seen speeds to honestly 2,100, 2,200. And then, of course, that was with one of the comments we're getting is like, well, I'm only getting 600 or 700. And then you go and look at their device and it's like the iPhone 12
Right,
or the
right.
old laptop. And I actually helped a guy with the PC that he's had for 22 years. And we bought a
Wow.
cheap little Wi-Fi adapter from Amazon for $13. We hooked it up. It saw it. Boom. He was getting about 600 to 500 megabits per second, and even with a 22-year-old computer. So it's just
Wow.
you're only going to go as fast as your slowest component. But it's
Right,
going,
right. That's amazing. In fact, 2100, now I'm jealous
yeah,
because I don't get
up
that.
to
And, I think another thing is, people can, considering that in the olden days we were hardwired, and that because we're on all these Wi-Fi's, the more things that share the bandwidth, you might get lower speeds. But, 600 is still, for most home use, that's still really good.
right.
So anybody who's getting that much speed should be very happy with that.
Right, you got to consider, I pay Cox Communications 500, for 500, and I have two teenagers who are on all the time with devices and gaming and all that, and it works just fine. So, a resident in our community might have themselves and maybe one other person, and
Mhm.
the speeds of 500 are more than, good enough for any of the devices they would have in their home.
Right. And that brings me back so that I can just remind everybody that this is being built for future, and so the speeds will, they're planned to have the higher speed. So people will be able to, do that with different devices, as we not only get our iPads and our phones and our computers, but if we have any medical devices that hook via Wi-Fi, that'll all be that our internet will be very capable of handling all of that traffic, as we call it. What are your top couple of things you have for your goals for 2026 for the first few months?
Well, our goal is to really get into that Gate 5 region. We're able to bring the main line, which is the actual fiber count that serves all of the community. So we got through Gate 1 and underneath El Toro Road with no problem whatsoever.
Right. We talked
So
about
now
that.
we have all of them as, it's like a spider web or a tree branch.
Hmm.
Now that is going out into the Gate 5 area, and then we'll head out towards the Ridge Route homes and making sure that we meet our quota. We've called it like machines. So just kind of think like, we have one machine right now that's doing, the outside plant, which is the main line. And then
Hmm.
we have a crew that's doing the pre-wire, which is people crawling around the buildings and wiring up the building. And then we have the installation people that actually come in the home and make sure the router and the ONT is working. And that's like one machine. So we're starting to add more of those as we go. And right now we're averaging, so last quarter was basically about 25 to 30 installs a day. And then that'll ramp up to 50 here in the first quarter. And then as that goes into the second quarter, we'll be into 75 to almost 100. And then that way we can get all the homes done. Probably, I'm hoping like around Thanksgiving time of 26 that we'll have, a majority of the community done. So
Wow.
the biggest challenge is as we build that machine as it comes through the community. And then
Mhm.
again, it's just community education. We just, even though we have a television station and internet and websites and everything else that's going on, we're still running into people that just don't know that we're working on the project.
Right, right. Which brings
Engagement is
me
always a challenge.
right. And I think that we've mentioned this and it's worth mentioning again, of course, is that there are so many sources of information available to residents that from e-blast to village television to I'm sure you even have some things in the Globe and prior episodes of Let's Talk Tech and prior episodes of This Day. Plus all of the times that you've gone out and talked to different community clubs, those are all recorded. So if anybody who hasn't seen any of those things are listening right now, and you can't find something, you can email me or you can email Paul, and we'll be more than happy to direct you to those resources. Because one of the things that matters to us is that you're informed as a resident here, that you've got the information that you're going to need. And I wanted to go back to something, Paul, back when we first started Let's Talk Tech, this was on our radar. And kind of what the impetus was for Let's Talk Tech was to have everybody talk about what the future looked like from streaming. And so there's a lot of prior episodes that talk about streaming and what it is. But I want to remind people that they also can go to streaming classes. The PC Club, Gary Russell, they have classes on what streaming is, how to set up your devices to stream if you're not doing it already. But a lot of our residents are already doing it. They're watching Netflix. Um, so I wanted to remind people of that there are resources for you if you're not familiar with all the intricacies of streaming or what you need to know about streaming, because you will be streaming everything in your TV in the future.
Right,
It's not going to be cable broadcast as we know it. And that's really something that people need to understand. And if you want to try something right now, you can go put Village TV's app on your television and
mhm,
try it out and see what real time what's being shown on Village Television at any time through that app. Try it out.
right.
And you can watch it anywhere. So not just from your home in the woods. So if you're, going somewhere else, I've access. I don't think I did. I think I tried it in Europe and I couldn't get it in Europe, but I could get it in other parts of the country and watch Village TV in real time, which
Right.
is so cool.
Yeah, those are really two important things that we're really going to be pushing out this year, is especially the streaming classes that the PC Club is putting together. They also have a wonderful FAQ document on their website. So we encourage everybody to go to thepcclub.org and learn about streaming. And Gary is, the president, but him and his volunteers have been so helpful in getting the word out. And one of the things too is we'll be doing is the DirecTV stream. And that is actually what's going to replace the cable television channels. And so
Right.
that'll be rolled out in August. So we're going to really work on it for about 6 months. And Gary's going to do demonstrations and kind of work you through the setup process and the guide. And that's super important that, people start to become more familiar with how to use the DirecTV Stream app. And then, like you said, the Village Television app is so valuable. All they have to do is go to the App Store or go to the Google Play Store and
Right.
download. Make sure you spell it all out, Village Television, and
Right.
see our logo and download it, and you will see, our content. And one of the other things I really want to emphasize is our YouTube channel. Because, people kind of like, well, I didn't see your show at 7 o'clock. What happened? I said, oh, well, the GRF meeting went late. So, we had to preempt it. Go to our YouTube channel. It's our Village Television YouTube channel. You can watch any show that's on our guide at any time you want. And I think we're really, really wanting to utilize that more often. So that's kind of like your video on demand channel.
Mhm,
And
mhm.
if they want to watch Let's Talk Tech, you can watch all the episodes.
Yeah.
And, really going to push that to the YouTube channel. I mean, just think about YouTube now. I mean, the Oscars are going to be on YouTube. And
Okay.
yeah,
Yeah.
and also, NFL. I mean, so people are starting to utilize it not only with YouTube TV, but also just with the regular content. So
Right.
I'm trying to get people to just kind of look at that channel more often and watch shows when you want to watch shows.
Right. And YouTube is it, it is something people often do not, they think, okay, I just go on my phone and I watch a quick recipe video or something
Mhm.
like that. All of Village Television's prior shows, even I think I even found a show from like maybe 10 years ago that I
Right.
watched.
Well, we had
Like,
a request last week, and somebody from the general manager's office said, "Hey, there was somebody that said you had a town hall in 2016 on fumigation." I'm
oh,
like, "Oh,
yeah.
really?" And honestly, within 5, 10 minutes, Mark Weiss found it, and we sent it off to everybody, and they're shocked that we found it so quickly, and we actually had a record of it.
Yeah, no, I think I can't even remember what it was that I found, but I think like an old meeting or something, and I was just really surprised. I know there's one channel, and I'm not going to go into it in detail, but they get a lot of views. One show that we used to play,
Okay.
I guess she talked to like stars.
Oh, you're talking about Lady Campbell Chapman.
Yeah,
Yes, she's
something that
part.
I've never been able to replicate that many views. So I'm
Funny,
jealous.
yes, yeah. She's the insider from the royal family, and then it was so funny because Netflix is doing another documentary on the royal family, and she came on that show, and I went, "Oh wow, that's the lady from our shows."
Right, right. That's on our
She
channel.
she is very popular.
So as we close out, I just want to remind everybody again that there are lots of places to get information about what's being done in the village with regards to the internet upgrades. And and again, very I want to impress upon everybody the value that's coming.
Right.
Um, this is a phenomenal upgrade that's been years in the making, right, Paul?
Yes.
We've been I'm trying to think. I started on the broadband committee maybe in 2019 or
It was
18.
yeah, it was prior to COVID, so yeah,
Yeah,
it was a
prior to
fun.
COVID. And we started meeting in those ad hocs, talking about what the future looked like and starting to explore the possibilities. So for me, this is still very exciting that it's finally really coming into fruition and that it will be such a benefit to the residents. I mean, we have a lot of great things in the village, but internet has and television viewing is something that's important to just about every single person who lives in the village.
Right. Yeah,
Yeah.
and one of the things we really want to emphasize is, like you just mentioned, this project has been talked about for what it'll be 7 or 8 years now. And then, we still have people saying, well, you're forcing this on me. Why are we doing this? Well, for one, cable television is going away. We all
Right.
know that. And our equipment and the manufacturing and the software has not been supported for years. So, you sooner or later, just like we had talked about all those years, the 1999 Toyota Camry, you
Yep.
I hope you don't expect that thing to run forever and ever and ever. Sooner or later, you're just going to either get a new one or have a lot of expenses to keep it running.
Right.
And
And it
that's
was both for us. It was both. It was the equipment and the expense. The expense of
overheating.
providing those shows was just it was just so unimaginable. And as we projected the future, there was not it was untenable.
Right.
We couldn't sustain that. So this is really just a great thing. So well, thank you, Paul, for being with me today. And I'll check back with you
Yeah.
soon and we'll see how things are going. And everybody just stay tuned and be right back. I'm going to talk about cookies.
Hi, my name is Ford. I'm a graduate gemologist and the founder here at Gold Standard. I've been in the jewelry and watch trade for over 30 years. Bring me your jewelry, watches, coins, even sterling silver flatware. I buy it all. Any item, big or small, you never know what you have in your jewelry box. Schedule a private appointment, bring me your items, and let me tell you what they're really worth. Never will you feel pressured. I treat all of my clients like their family. Gold Standard Company, by appointment only, here in Laguna Hills.
Do you or your loved ones want to continue living at home safely, but are starting to see signs of Parkinson's, dementia, Alzheimer's? Maybe it's recent strokes or falls. Having a caregiver at home can be the best way to keep you in home safely. Home Helpers has been providing caregivers for over 25 years. Call us today or join us at Laguna Cafe for free pie and coffee, and we'll answer your questions about caregiving. It's the first Tuesday of every month at 10 a.m., and space goes quickly, so RSVP now.
Hi, welcome back to Let's Talk Tech. A few years ago, when I started Let's Talk Tech, I talked about cookies and what that means when you're browsing the internet. But I wanted to give you just a little update, just give you some information, a little tutorial on how to interact with cookies as you do search things on the internet. So I want you to understand cookie settings and what it really means to protect your privacy online. So this is really a practical guide. So first, what are cookies? In a nutshell, cookies are a way that information is collected about you, and your data is currency on the internet. So when you click anywhere on the internet, you are putting what's called a cookie. They're tiny digital notes that websites leave on your computer or your phone or your iPad. And they do have some helpful purposes, but not all cookies work for your best interest. And often they work in the best interest of whatever site you're on. So the good things they do is they remember your language or your font sizes, or they keep you signed into your account so that when you open something, you don't have to log in every time, or they remember items in your shopping carts if you're doing online shopping. And they help websites load faster in some cases, going forward. So why should you care about cookies? Well, privacy is the number one thing because cookies are invasive to your online privacy. And again, there are some things that are necessary, but there are a lot of cookies that aren't necessary. And they can contain personal information that might make you vulnerable if your device is compromised. And again, they're not always necessary for a website to function. And they're optional. You don't have to say yes. And in California, as a matter of fact, you may noticed over the last year that you get a lot of cookie pop-ups when you open any website. I know I do. And the thing about that is I typically reject all cookies. That's me because I would rather log back in or figure something out later than to have them know me. But again, understanding cookies is why you can be in charge of your digital privacy and security, and why I'm talking about this today. So the types of cookies are first-party cookies and third-party cookies. The first-party cookies are the website that you're on, and they keep you logged in. They remember your settings. They might improve your experience on a specific site, and they're generally safer and more transparent. So I'm not as worried about first-party cookies. Third-party cookies, though, that's a little bit different. They're companies other than the site you're visiting. So, for example, you might visit a site to buy something, and if you notice when their cookie pop-up comes early on, if you dig a little bit deeper, it might tell you that they're going to sell your data. It might be very right there, but you got to look for it, and that's what I wanted to talk about. So the risk of accepting all cookies, it's easy. It comes up on your screen. It's right in front of you, and you go, oh no, I'm just going to click yes so I can keep going. That's where you go wrong. You want to specifically look through and choose the option that says for you to choose the cookies, to personalize it, for you to see what you want to share, if anything. So you can reject them all, or you can click that button that says, I want to personalize my cookies. So there's constant tracking, there's targeted advertising, there's data vulnerability. If I have that option, I pick technical cookies only, and I eliminate or functional cookies, okay? Because those are things that make the website work. But otherwise, besides technical or functional cookie options, you do not need to say yes to any of them. And like I said in the beginning, you don't need to say yes at all for most websites to work now. So you're in control of what cookies you want to share, but you do have to take the time to click on the personalization piece and personalize it. So here's a way to manage overall cookie settings. And I'm going to use Google Chrome as an example. You're going to open your settings. You're going to go to the three dots in the corner, and you're going to select settings from the menu. You're going to then navigate to privacy. Find and click the privacy and security in the left sidebar menu. Then you're going to access your cookies controls, select cookies and other site data to see all available options. And then you're going to customize your settings. Choose to block third-party cookies or customize permissions for specific websites. And most important is that you clear existing data and you regularly delete stored cookies to remove tracking data already on your device. So if you were in a hurry that day and you just said accept, you can go back later and clean that up. And that would be my suggestion. So this might have been a little quick. So if you want to stop the video now so that you can see this and go follow along, please feel free to do that. And most steps in other browsers are the same. Firefox, Safari, Microsoft Edge, DuckDuckGo, all of those things. DuckDuckGo, that's a browser that has an extra level of security. And I'm not going to go into that now, but that is something that I also suggest that people potentially use, is the browser called DuckDuckGo. So rejecting or modifying cookies. When a cookie banner appears, look for reject non-essential cookies or customize buttons instead of accept all. Take a moment to review what you're agreeing to. Only accept cookies that enhance your experience or reject them all. You don't have to accept anything. In your browser settings, make sure you've enabled that block third-party cookies automatically. You can allow first-party cookies for sites that you trust and use regularly, and set cookies to automatically delete when you close your browser or log out. Oftentimes we're not logging out of our browsers either, so that's another topic. Logging completely out of your browser will delete cookies if you've set that up ahead of time. Before and after managing cookies is visual. You have unmanaged settings, all cookies accepted by default, or after protected settings. Make sure you block third-party cookies, trackers are prevented, only essential cookies are allowed, and your browsing stays private and secure. Tips for staying safe online. Regular maintenance. And I'm not just talking about cookies, I'm talking about everything. But clear your cookies and your browsing data every few weeks. This removes that tracking information and keeps your browser running better. Use privacy tools. Be selective, don't rush to click accept all on cookie banners. Take a few moments and either reject or customize. Stay informed. Privacy policies change. So you want to make sure when you get those emails that talk about privacy, take a moment and read them and read what they're doing. That's a good protection for yourself. You need to take control of your own online privacy, okay? It's easy to manage. Managing cookies takes just a few minutes. It has a big impact. Small changes can make a significant difference in your online security and data privacy. And start right now. After you're done watching this episode, go and make that your next priority to fix all your cookie settings.
Technology is always moving forward, and sometimes we need to move with it. If you're a resident of Laguna Woods Village still using a ComLine or FEA email address, it might be time to make the switch. Services like Gmail offer more flexibility and convenience. Access your emails anytime, anywhere, whether you're on your phone, laptop, or tablet. Stay connected no matter where life takes you. Make the switch today and keep your inbox at your fingertips.
Thinking about selling your business? Well, now could be the time. Hi, I'm Tom Burns, business broker with the Deal Firm. Since 2008, I've helped business owners navigate the selling process. I've sold all kinds of businesses, from restaurants to law firms, to music schools, and even a fishing resort. I'm a business owner myself, so I understand what this process means to you. Your legacy deserves the right hands. If you're ready to sell your business, call me at the Deal Firm today to write your next chapter.
Well, I hope you enjoyed my chat with Paul Ortiz and my tutorial about cookies and data privacy. And I want to thank you all again for watching my show. I love doing Let's Talk Tech. I love doing Senior Travel Adventures, and I do it for you. I do it to inform and educate. So remember, always think before you click, and think before you post, and be kind when posting online. So thank you for watching. Take care, and we'll see you next time on Let's Talk Tech.